So,
Hey guys, what's up? Chris here with another episode of The Smart Flip. We got somebody, this is his second time on the podcast. He was one of the first people we ever interviewed. Got the owner of inventory.com with us today, Hayden Howard. But we're not here to talk about inventory or phone flipping today. It's actually, we're going to be talking about something different in terms of reselling. And I think it's really cool to see. And let's talk about it a little bit, dude. What's the new company you started?
yeah, most definitely. So, in the last year or 5 years, actually, we've been working on inventory, focus on that. So I got that pretty streamlined now. We got our team in place. We have everything. It's running. It's all in motion. So I've had a lot of free time. And like honestly, when you're not developing in the software industry, it becomes quite boring. Like we do like 3 to 5 demos every single week. It's pretty standard for how it is and stuff, but it's pretty easy. It's very consistent and long term. So in the meantime, like I had like so much time. Me and my brother, we had so much time. Like I was really maybe working 1 day a week on the software, and I had 4 free days. So we had a little hobby that we had, a little sports cards hobby. So we knew it all. We knew the industry, and I was like, I watch like sports card stuff. I know it sounds weird, but people call it like breaking, and it's like ripping open packs and stuff. Some people would call it gambling, other people call it a hobby. Either way, it's fun and it's very entertaining. So I like, Garrett, my brother Garrett, he's half owner too. He's like huge into sports. He knows every single statistic you could possibly think of. He knows all the new rookies, all the high schoolers even coming out. Like it's pretty wild, honestly. So with his like just understanding of sports and the data side of it, my understanding of like the buy or resell, all of that, like we decided like, hey, let's flip some sports cards. So first thing I did was I went and reached out to Chris because we need like a consistent flow of leads. Like we have to get leads. If you don't have leads, you're nobody. And so I need a consistent flow. I had never done leads for like buying locally and selling. And like sure, I could go on YouTube and like learn everything, or you could like literally do 3 calls with Chris and you know everything. And like, yeah, and like every time I had a question, he went right to me. So here's what we did. I came to you, we set up these freaking ads, man, and it was insane. We pretty much, I
Um,
know you're gonna have some specific questions for
Yeah,
every, but let's just leave it on that cliffhanger and kind of go to the next part.
yeah, for sure. I want to back it up here a little bit too, because it's funny because you weren't the first person that reached out to me about sports cards. It was actually Gaither that reached out to me about sports cards along with his electronics flipping and he did Pokemon cards
Yep.
for a little bit, for a little run. He's back to flipping electronics now, but um, like and I had always told people like with this, so that's why we kind of created my I buy agency thing too, where you can,
Mhm.
we teach people that they can run ads for people that are buying and reselling things. It's
Yeah.
not that hard. You can charge 300 plus a month to do that because like it's either they can do that, they can run ads to buy stuff, or they can go out and put up the road signs that you see everywhere. You know,
Most
like
definitely.
it's the same concept, it's just in a digital format, and people can make money doing that. And I was kind of letting people know you can do this for gold, you can do it for silver, you can do it for like there's so many
Oh, cars,
niches out there.
houses.
It's ridiculous how many
Yeah.
like niches there are for this. And the only place I had ever actually seen ads for it was actually in the phone flipping space. That's the
Hmm.
only place I ever saw them. So whenever you reached out to me about the sports cards, I was like, we did it with Pokemon cards. The leads were pretty cheap. Let's run it.
Yep.
It's the same concept. I buy this, and that's all it is. Like you're selling people money is what you're really doing, and that's not a hard offer to sell people.
It's on, yeah, it's crazy. There are 2 offers. Here's what I found in all of spending. There are 2 offers. The single best offer ever is a free giveaway. Okay, free giveaway is that's the cheapest leads you'll ever get. Free giveaway. We gave away free sports card, like a free Shohei Ohtani, right when they won the World Series, and
Yeah.
our leads were 39 cents per lead. And the second is I pay cash for anything. That's like yeah. So that's what I found are that ultimate best that like you can get a return immediately. That's the
Yeah.
most important part.
I want to ask, what was the catalyst of this? Like you were all you and your brother were into sports cards, but like when was the moment you were like, dude, we could like let's buy and actually flip these things. Like, let's see what we can actually do. Like, what was the decision there?
Man, that's a good question. How are we into it? You know, it was a combination of things added up to where I could see it would be scalable enough to hire employees. So that's like the first standpoint I look at was like, can I grow this to the point where I could have employees take over it and still be marginally profitable for it to make sense, which makes like 15% net margins with all employees is okay. You know, like above 20%, 25%. And this is at scale, you know, this is
Yeah.
$1 million plus. So if you're doing $1 million a year, minimum you should make is 150 grand, you know, with employees. If you have smaller margins, then you just can't hire those employees. And so like that's after employee payout too. So you should have about 25% gross net margin. So what I did is we've done a lot of things. So number one, obviously sourcing is a huge thing. Can we get enough product? So that was a huge start. And I knew like you did leads. I talked to Gaither too. I knew he was getting leads for cheap. I don't know Pokemon, but it's freaking insane. It's just as big as sports cards. I can tell you
Yeah,
that.
it is. Yeah.
I
The
don't know.
Magic the
I don't know.
Gathering, like all they like there's these niches of cards too. You
Crazy.
know?
Crazy.
And it's and they all got the whole unboxing thing that's happening that
Yeah.
people really like to see, I guess. And
It's
it's
fun. Yeah.
I
It's fun.
mean, so
Um,
you said it was a combination of things.
So yeah, so what we had is we had the sports cards and then we had China supply source. So like I'm good at that. Like I've done that my
Yeah.
whole entire life. So like I got like the best price on supply sources. So like we have like cases, for example, that we buy. Like here's a sports card and it's in a case. This is a case right here. So in the USA, I'm having to pay like triple the price for my cases. And we're selling a lot of cards. Black Friday, we sold 800 cards. So like our first order of cases was 50,000 cases because on 50,000 cases, that's going to save, bro, that's going to save me so much money. I'm going to save a minimum of 50 cents per unit. And
Oh,
I
wow.
ordered 50,000.
Damn.
You know, so just give you an idea, like that's already 25,000 more profit into the business. So with a combination of things added up, that we do, we saw enough ability to make enough profit that we could scale it and add employees and expand.
You know what I love about this is like you can like I know you, but a lot of the listeners don't know you as well as I do. For everybody watching, like Hayden created the first price sheet in phone flipping. Like he was the guy that created that. So like I can see it because I've been with him through a different couple of projects now. You started off flipping electronics in the very early days, figured that out. You then went to Trade and Tech, you built that. You now have inventory.com, and I'm sure you got some things in between. And what's great about this is like I can see the dots connected, like 2020 hindsight, on how you were able to do this so quickly. You know, like it's like starting, it's because you already had a lot of connections and you were able to just like hit the ground running. And I want to like tell everybody in the audience what that's watching this and the replay is like the things you're learning now may not really like manifest until like what 6, 7, 8 years down the road. Like,
Yeah, it's just compounding. So like this is the best way I put it. Like, it took me 4 years to get to $1 million a year in sales. And then it took me 1 year. And then it took me 3 months. You know, so it's like that's just how it works. You learn it all, then you do it faster, then you do it even faster. And it's four to usually like 3 to 4 times as fast. So like it takes you 4 years to get to 1 million a year. Good for you. That's phenomenal. You have a couple employees now, like now you know what to do. Now
yeah,
next time it's gonna take you a year to do that. And then if you become like a super ultra pro, which you're 10 years in, for me, I've owned my own business now for 14 years. So I'm pretty deep into it. I know it all. And what took for me first took 4 years, now takes 3 months to do. And like, do I acquire more risk quicker? Obviously, yeah, you
yeah,
acquire a lot more risk quicker, but you know, you're seasoned, so you understand that risk, you're willing to take that risk, and you know what to do in case something doesn't work out too.
I love that. So I know a lot of people are going to be like asking this is like, how do you handle like the level of inventory? that you're having now? Like, I know people would be terrified by that level of inventory, but I also know it's your wheelhouse. Like, you're really
Yeah.
good at that stuff. I
Well,
mean,
I mean, we use our software, so
I'm sure, yeah. I assume you use inventory, so
yeah, we use our software to track everything, and everything else systemized processes. So we already have SOPs written out for like sourcing and how to respond. So like I'll give you an example. Like we start from the very beginning, it's the leads. That's the biggest problem you have because I spent $4,000 last month on ads and I got 4,800 leads. I spent $3,800 and I got 4,800. 4,800 leads. So
that's
that's your first problem you're going to face. Okay. It's getting all those, having people ship into you and everything like that. So we use systemized processes. The first one we use is ManyChat. Obviously, at 4,800 leads, that weeds out 3,500 people immediately. Now we only have 1,200 people to talk to. That saves us 75% of our time. Go through that and close some deals. Moving on to that, it's like tracking the inventory. We use inventory.com. It's great. We track everything, gives us all of our margins, everything we need. We are disciplined and do it. Most people are not disciplined and most people don't track it. And other than that, we buy, like sometimes we buy on like websites, but it's only if like we're looking for something very specific. Right now, we're just taking in so many leads that we're just focusing on that. And for the last 2 weeks, we shut off our ads. And dude, I get it's like it just keeps coming.
yeah.
Like I don't like we try like it used to be we turned off our ads and it just stopped. Now it's like dude, 5,000 people message us. They keep messaging us.
Oh yeah.
Like,
They
people who
probably got
sold
more
to us.
cards. Yeah.
Yeah, people who sold to us
Yeah.
three or four have already sold to us 3 or 4 times. I got another guy, he sold us 10 cards and now he's got 40 he wants to sell. And so it's
Well,
just like
I mean,
boom,
a lot
boom.
of people want to do that initial deal, right? To make sure you're legit. And like once they figure that out, the game is on at that point. And these guys are probably always acquiring cards, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Most of the time, like we got some big collections from just like, dude, like the common old guy who's got
yeah.
$20,000 worth of cards. So we've done those deals, but those are far and few in between. What you find is a lot of like just micro hustlers, man. Just like guys who are like just haven't taken the bigger risks that we have taken, obviously, and they're just flipping in their bedroom, and that's cool. And we work with a ton of them, and they just have somebody reliable to sell to. Cash flow is a huge point too, because like these things don't move fast. Like it's like 30-day moving averages on a lot of stuff. So you got to have cash, and if you don't have cash, like you can't do much. So if you're buying every day, like have a huge advantage over everybody.
Yeah, of course. So the cards have a 30-day. So that's another question people are definitely going to have about this. And I even had the question is like, how do you value these things? Like, because
Oh, that
there,
is an
I guess,
art itself.
yeah, I know you told me it's difficult. Um, but that's also where I'm assuming the opportunity lies as well.
Yeah, that is an art in itself. First off, you need to understand your sales channels. So we do all the major sales channels you guys can think of. The biggest one that we want to move on to next, which we haven't done, so let's talk about the future of things, is TikTok Live. TikTok Shop Live. Like that will be huge for us. So we're trying to push to 100% live selling. So Amazon, eBay, everybody who does live selling, we want to do all of that. And then TikTok, obviously, you got Whatnot, you have Loop, you have Fanatics, you have all of those ones. So we're really big. That's how what we see in Vision is hiring a bunch of streamers, turning a lot of entertainment shows. So we'll have things like breaks, we have things like 10-second auctions, we have 5-second auctions, which are crazy. On Black Friday, we ran 800 5-second auctions.
Oh my gosh.
That's what it was. Just boom, 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 boom. It was crazy. So swipe to bid, just enter custom bid. It's quick. And then yeah, so our future, I believe, for us is live streaming. That's all I really care about. And then we have other top line sales. That's just like, everything else is listed across all platforms at all times.
So you're not really relying on the major platforms. You're relying on the live selling, sounds like mostly.
Yeah, so it's a lot different. So as for comps and prices, like, man, it's like really difficult to like answer that because like
Yeah.
Dude, I will sell a card one day for $10. The next day I'll sell for 50. The next day sell for 15. The next day sell it for 60. So
Mm,
yeah, sure, it has a $30 moving average.
yeah,
And so you can look at things like we have tools we use. There's 130 point, there's card ladder. The king of them all is eBay sold listings.
yeah.
And so eBay does about 180 to $200 million a month in credit in sports card sales. So
Wow.
like you can look at the data and you can see like what's popular, what's selling. So like all the rookies now, the Victor Wembanyama's, the CJ Strouds, like those guys are like super popular. The Paul Skeens, obviously, people have heard of him a lot. And so Shohei Ohtani too, not rookie, but like obviously the king of it all. So yeah, it's an art in itself though, and the more you're in it, the more you understand it. I would say for anybody who wants to really value and understand it, go ahead and buy 5,000 cards, and then you'll have a pretty good idea. Go ahead and buy them and sell them. I know that's a lot, but that's kind of pretty much what it takes. I've lost on plenty of cards already. I've made way more than I thought I would on other cards too.
That's wild.
And
Well,
so
I think what you're tapping into there is a lot of FOMO, right? On those live ones. Um,
yeah,
and it's kind of like
it's
gambling, I guess. Like it's
it
literally,
kind of we are really we do like there's a lot of people just buy in bulk and then just
yeah,
sell. Our live streams, we handpick, curate every single card. Like so like we're really it's like there's a certain style that you'll see in our things versus just oh this card, this card, this card. All of them are going to have some unique part about them that we're going to have a selling position on. And so we want to do that on purpose because then you can get top dollar because people understand the meaning of the card behind it and and if you're with us enough, like we have a lot of guys who have bought like 50, 80 cards from us. Like that's pretty common. Like
wow.
it's that they'll sit on our live stream for 3 hours, but they like our cards. They like the style of them, they like which ones we're choosing, and so that's what gets them to stay. So you got to be good about the entertainment of things and
Yeah.
stuff. Like I bought a bunch of like game use patches and we ran it and we just made fun of it the whole time because every single one of the people was from the steroid era. The Barry Bonds, the Mark McGuires, the Sammy Sosa's, the Alex Rodriguez, all of them did steroids. So we were like, guys, I have a patch here. It was Alex Rodriguez, Ivan Rodriguez, and like Jose Canseco. And all three of them had done steroids, and we called it the triple steroid patch. It's like all of these guys got convicted of steroids. You'll never find anything else like this. And that thing went for 2.5 times market value.
Wow.
Because of the story, because of the reasoning
Yeah,
behind
yeah.
it.
That's cool. I
Yeah.
like
So yeah, it's just like it's not just like sports cards buying and selling. We are moving fully into the entertainment, the live streaming. Like I'm light years, I believe, about ahead most people on the things. Like everybody's doing live streaming and stuff like that. But in the
that.
whole of e-commerce, like I give it 10 years, live streaming is going to make up 80% of online sales. It's going
Yeah,
to
I
be
can see that happening. Yeah.
it's going to be, you're going to be able to go anywhere. If you want to shop for Nordstrom's, you can literally live stream and go with a person. They'll walk you through Nordstrom's or they'll just swipe through Nordstrom stuff and you can just swipe to buy like all the time. It'll just show off fancy things. So you can have them showing off the whole entire outfit and you can just swipe to buy right there. So yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
I mean
that's the
yeah,
live stream.
I I like that. I think eBay even played around with live stream selling there for a little bit.
Yeah, they've already invited us to because
Oh,
they saw
really? Wow.
they
Nice.
saw us on we've already been invited to live. But we're trying to get a contract with them, so I'm negotiating back and forth on stuff because we need a contract with them, man. That's the final step I need to take.
So the contract with eBay, you guys are going for consignment, right?
Yeah, we're expanding consignment, high end, and we're gonna take a lot of our current clientele that we know we can really expand on and work directly with eBay on that. In turn, we have to hit certain volume levels, and in turn, you can kind of get better rates. But there's a process between, and this is like we're already a technology partner. I'm already like a verified eBay. Like I've
Yeah.
been on eBay for 10 years. We have direct account managers and stuff. So like you need to have done tens of millions of dollars in revenue already on eBay for them to even listen to you. And so they're listening to us though. And so we're gonna see where it takes us.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, so that'll expand to the consignment for stuff, so we can sell the higher end stuff, yeah, competitively.
So I want to go back to the ads part of this. What is your so you did ads in two ways. You did the giveaway inside of the Facebook group, which was getting people. How many people are in the Facebook group now?
No, like 1,200. We didn't continue it at all because that was just for our release and everything. And bro, like we're killing it now. So it's like we have 1,200 in there. We got like 1,000 followers on social media, but we're on Whatnot. We've done 8 shows. We have 2,500 followers on there. So like I'll tell you, you get 5,000 followers across all that in the sports cards, and everybody knows you're
Yeah.
legit, and you have a 5-star rating everywhere. You're gonna have plenty of business. Like we already have a ton of business, and so yeah, but yeah, we started with that. It probably yeah 1,100 people. I think it says I got 1,936 leads from that group giveaway I did.
That's wild.
So we
You were
pushed.
able to build your list incredibly fast.
Yeah, and then we did text message and email, and we pushed those all to like our auction shows and
Yeah,
everything too.
that's
So
awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, so you were basically using the group growth model, grabbing the emails, phone numbers, now moving those people to the live streams for selling, and they're getting notified probably weekly. It sounds like whenever you guys
yeah,
go live.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
exactly
it's a group
right.
growth model. Yeah, that's exactly.
Like, it's pretty basic, and it's cool too because like on the email you get it's like get $15 in free credit on your first show. So it's like
Yeah,
we earn like a percentage off that. So we made a couple $100 in referral fees on top of it too. So it costs me a total of $748. Then I sold a boatload in our auctions. We got a ton of
yeah,
people and on all of our sales. And then we got $200 in referral too. So it only costs like $550 to run the whole gig. For 2,000 leads, that's a freaking steal.
that's insane. No, yeah, for real.
So we
What
keep
is
messing
the
them.
what? So what's the return on the ads so far? Like, would you say? Like,
Man, that's a great question. I can tell you this: we spent $3,800 last month,
yeah,
and we did one deal with one person for $16,000 and we made 5 grand on that alone. And I had 4,800 other messages besides that. So return on ads, we have, man,
well, it's probably the
man, it's crazy. I don't even know. I got to look at it. It's freaking nuts. Honestly, like I
sounding
like
like it's like
it's
30x or
like
something like that.
it's like um hold on one second here. Let me
Yeah,
think.
figure out the profit
Let
and
me, let
divide it
me yeah,
by
sorry, I
three.
didn't prepare for this question.
Oh, you're
Um
good. No, we're just kind of spitballing here and having fun. But like I like it because like this is an industry that is totally kind of like underground.
yeah,
And there's
yeah,
not many
definitely.
people out there doing it. But like, my father-in-law like is into coins and stuff like that. That's another
Huge
huge
too.
underground market that
Yeah.
people don't realize. And there's tons of people out there. And he does that. Like he watches those shows of
Oh,
people.
we get offered coins, comics,
Yeah.
any weird great like that Yu-Gi-Oh, the Pokemon, all
Yeah.
that all the time. We don't say no. There's tons of opportunity. I would say right now, for every dollar we spend, we buy $15.
Wow.
Okay. So it's pretty high. And it's like, and we've turned it off and we keep getting more just because we got the returns. So like I would say if we spend 1,000, like if we just let it ride right here and we spent the 4 grand, we don't spend any more, I think we would clear, man, dude, a lot. 75,000 plus, I would say, on buying. It's pretty crazy. Like we
Yeah. So
spent
the ROAS is insane, it sounds like.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of work and stuff. So like, there's a lot of labor involved. There's a
Yeah.
lot of labor.
Well,
So it's
let's
heavy.
talk about that part, like, because I know a lot of people are going to be interested in that part. Is like, what does the labor look like? Like when you get the packages. I mean, you sent me that photo the other day of just like a box full of packages. Like,
Yeah,
what does
yeah,
it
we get
look
a
like
lot.
behind the scenes once you get the cards? What does that look like?
Yeah, yeah. I'll give you like a really basic example. Let's run
Yeah.
through a live. So like this is a card we just got in from somebody. So I'm just gonna open this up real quick. We'll receive these. So we receive right now almost 1,000 a week of these. So people package it. Here, let me see if I can turn off my blur on this real quick.
Yeah.
I'm just in my bedroom right now. Cool. Perfect. So people buy this card, they send it in like this. Now they just shipped it in. This is a pretty cool card. This is a Randy Moss, Addison. This is his rookie year too. This is a dual patch right here. Okay, so this card's not very expensive, but we buy this stuff all the time. So we will take this right here. Usually, what we'll do is we'll improve it and make it better for our people. So we pull it out of here and we put it in like a fancy case, such as this, for
Yep.
example. So it looks a lot nicer, and we present like when you get product from us delivered, it looks better than from anybody. Like it looks like the best it can possibly be. So we'll go through the whole refurbishing process on that. And then what we do is we have to organize all these cards based on the type of auctions or games, or like we'll do mystery repacks. So like you have a 1 in 5 chance of like making more than you invest, and then like you have a 1 in 100 chance of 10 times in your money. So it's like it's mystery packs, they're called. And you always get like an auto or a game used or something. So what we'll do is we'll organize these for certain live streams. We might list some on eBay, for example. It all depends on the value of it and how we think we can get the most out of it too. And then from that process, we do the live streams, which are, like if I'm selling right now, I have 1,500 cards right here. And that on a live stream, if I go incredibly fast, we could do 100 cards an hour. And that's really fast.
Wow.
But I like to like really sell and like
Yeah, yeah.
stuff. So like we were doing like 75 cards an hour, you
Man, I
know,
bet
and
that's fun selling that fast.
yeah,
Like,
it's freaking, you don't even remember. It's so much. It's 5 seconds. So it's like
yeah,
you're like 20 in and like you don't even remember what just happened. It's pretty wild. So that's a huge part. We have to go through the live stream, we have to do all that, and then we got to ship it.
yeah.
And we ship it all and process it all through. And then we do our records and our our inventory and accounting and everything like that too. So yeah,
It's a
it's quite
process for
yeah,
sure.
it's a process. There's a lot of other things in between too that we do to keep up with it and make sure everything's done. But
That's awesome. That's great,
yeah,
dude. Um,
yeah.
so like what is the future looking like? I know you're in talks with eBay and all that. I know you guys are looking to also go to consignment, where you're basically selling things on behalf of other people. Um, so like what are you like 2 months into this now? Like,
Yeah, last month was our first full month.
yeah. So
Yeah.
2 months in, and what's the goal now? Like, you're just gonna scale this thing as fast as you can, and
Yeah, just profitably scale, grow off profit. So it's like, I mean, we have enough cash already, so we're good. We're not tight on cash. So we want to profitably scale, which means that we make money every single month, no matter what. If we invest more, that's fine, but we shouldn't be losing. So like right now, what we invest in this month was like was getting like our huge China order, and just a few other things that we invest in, like cheaper packing supplies, all this type of stuff where we buy in bulk and we get it for cheaper, because we know we're going to use it. And then next month we'd like to get an office space, set up so we can really formalize everything. Because I didn't think it'd grow this fast, and like we get like 500 to 1,000 packages every single week now to our place, so it's
it's
freaking nuts. Luckily, it's small. They're small. Um,
yeah. Luckily, the inventory is tiny.
yeah, 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 yeah. And so, yeah, and then from that point on, we're just gonna go absolutely insane on every single thing. My goal is to expand on TikTok Shop. We'll expand obviously further onto eBay, further onto Walmart, further into consignment. I would love to expand into Pokemon too, because I don't know it, but it's there and there's plenty of opportunity. And then everything that's in the industry that we use regularly, we will source and sell wholesale too. So,
Yeah.
for example, there's a lot of people in the industry. These cases, for example, you can buy them in China, but you're going to have to find a manufacturer. You're going to have to wait 60 days. You're going to have to understand logistics and customs, and new tariffs are being raised here
Yep.
with Trump and everything. So you're going to know what you're doing, or you can just buy them from us at a wholesale price that you know what I'm saying? Like you can, and like you don't have to wait,
Nice.
you don't have to store it, It's like that's a pain in the butt. So we'll sell all the stuff, the cases, all the plastics, anything else that's regularly used in the industry, we're gonna buy in bulk and then wholesale that. And Yeah, pretty much the strategy of it all. That will give us plenty of liquidity to expand, hire out, like processing staff, and then hire out live streamers and hire out purchasers too.
That's
So
fantastic.
with
I
game
love that.
plan, with game plan.
I love it. You guys going to be using? I'm assuming probably going to scale the ads up once you get more systems and people in place.
Yeah, really last month was a huge
Yeah.
like growth pain. We learned a
Yep.
lot, we expand fast, and we like found a bunch of things that worked and a bunch of things that didn't, because like we're selling thousands of different cards and we got to make sure we buy the right ones. So we're getting better and better and better at that. And it's just like just checking off the boxes. So now we're far more organized and we know exactly what to do. And so I would assume that we're going to move twice as fast
Yeah.
this month as we already did last month because we're not really questioning things.
So what are you going to do then? You're going to, going to change up the ads a little bit to be a little bit more specialized in what you
No,
want.
no, man, we're just gonna turn them back on by doing things. They're
There
not broken.
you go.
No, I'm not gonna do
That
anything.
filter.
They're not broken, dude. They're freaking insane. I'm not literally are not doing anything. We're
Well, it
just
didn't
turning.
take long to build either. Like it's
Yeah, man.
very
Like
like I don't think people understand how easy I buy ads are. Like for any industry.
oh, let me walk you guys through this. I'm gonna show you a new ad.
He's going to show you guys how to build one right now.
Boom. That's it. You're gonna take that photo right there and put a banner that says "I buy sports cards."
It's
We
just like
our photos are garbage. They're garbage. Like honestly, the crappier the better. I know it sounds so weird, but
yeah,
go ahead, take a piece of paper, write I buy whatever you do. Like I buy cars and slap that on a car and take a picture of the car.
yep.
Just like that or whatever it may be.
I had a guy messaging me yesterday, and he was like, "Chris, my ads aren't working," and I set them up exactly how you said, and he sent me the photos of them. They were all like new inbox phones. They were really good photos. And I was like, "They're not shitty enough, dude. You changed everything about what I said. Like, you need to make them look like garbage. Like, you need to
Ours
throw a
look like
cracked
crap.
phone in there. Like, and this is exactly what I told you and what we built. I told Gabe the
It
same
needs to
thing.
look real because you need to like let's
Yeah,
say for the iPhone for brand new, nobody's got 10 brand new iPhones.
exactly.
Like
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense. They got cracked phones that look like crap. So it needs to be relatable. It's not about what you want. It's about what the customer is going to relate to and understand. So we just have like a pile of cards and ours is yeah, sure, it's just cards, but you have to be specific. If you actually look at our cards, like people will, they'll be able to like, oh, I have that card.
yeah.
Boom. All of a sudden it's like now they reach out to us like, hey, I have the card in your photo. Would you want to buy it? I'm like, it's exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah. Well, I think you have that what is it that one ad where it just has a piece of paper in the middle and all the cards around it, right?
Yeah, yeah, that was our craziest ad, man. That was so like every other campaign, I'm looking at them now. Our big campaigns we've ran that I'm just saying that we spent like at least $500 on. So like big ones we spent $500 on. We got 500 messages here. That one we spent $500 on, and we have 1,200 messages. So it was like crazy. And we did turn on local because we do want to do big local deals, and
Yeah,
we've done some big deals locally, so that's cool. But yeah, man, it's not broken. So just like don't fix it if it works. Nothing needs to be fixed. Honestly, like I think if we turn it on, it would only get better
yeah,
because we'll just like ours is crazy. Our ads that we run have 800 comments and 500 people like them.
yeah.
Because sports cards industry is really big. So when
Oh
you see
yeah,
an ad with that much, it's like, okay, these guys probably are legit. So like that, like the longer you let it sit like that, the more it builds
yeah,
up
of
like
course.
that. So now it just pays serious dividends.
I want to be clear with like the only other card thing I had ever run for somebody was for Pokemon cards, and that worked really well. Never done the industry before. Guy paid me, and we set up his ads, and they worked. Like they brought leads. So I want everybody like listening, like this I buy thing works. Like I buy ads work, and they're simple, and like most industries don't have them. Like you got the people out there posting the road signs and things like that. And they could easily just be doing these types of ads. And this is why I tell everybody all the time, it's like just run some ads, like Facebook, like easy. Like, yeah, the phone industry is like the only one. And yeah, it is somewhat saturated at this point. But like there's so many other industries out there that are not. Like it's ridiculous. Like you got the Magic the Gathering cards for this. You got Pokemon, you got Yu-Gi-Oh, you got all these other like sub
Oh
cards.
man, autograph memorabilia. That's
Yeah,
insane.
that one too. Like there's so many out there that and there's millions of people that are interested in that stuff. One thing I love about this industry though is like it's so FOMO, it's ridiculous. It's almost like crypto, you know? Like
Mhm.
where people just spend quick and don't
Yeah,
even
a lot of nostalgia too. A lot
yeah.
of people from their childhood, they see this. We have a lot of like our biggest buyers are people that are over the age of 40, 50.
Yeah.
And it's I would say honestly, I've never seen anything. Sports is one of those, but it's extremely competitive. This is a hobby that like so many like parents like share with their kids. So it's kind
No.
of cool. Like I can't tell you how many people say that like me and my son do this.
Oh, wow.
Like, and
Pretty
so
cool.
it's very, or like, hey, I bought all these for my son because he loves these, for Christmas and stuff. So like it's kind of cool, man. It's actually like really heavily family oriented. Sure, there's a lot of buyers and sellers, but man, I was a kid. I just went to a sports card store too and shuffled my fingers through cards.
Yeah.
Like people still do that by the millions actually now. And then
Awesome.
like the parents now get to share that experience with their kids too. It's pretty cool.
That is cool. I didn't
Yeah.
realize there was such a big part in that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. It's really big on that.
Well, dude, I mean, obviously people are going to be interested on getting like how to start this thing. Like how to kind of tap in. Do you have anything for like the beginners on that if they were interested in flipping sports cards? What would
Whew, yeah, that's well, eBay sold listings and card ladders where you're gonna get your comps and be conservative. Everybody in the industry is extremely aggressive. Be conservative. Get ready for 100 no's for every one yes. We had 4,800 people message us. We might have closed 75, 100 deals out of it all, in reality. But those people keep selling to us, keep getting quantity and stuff. And now we buy from a bunch of other things too. And so, yeah, that's just the way it is. But I mean, just get ready for a lot of no's and a lot. You can tell that. Just gonna be honest on be conservative on your pricing and only judge based off sold listings, not based on product that's already listed. And honestly, like do something that you actually like enjoy. I started electronics. I enjoyed that because like technology is cool and that makes sense. I repaired phones. I always thought it was interesting. Same with computers. And like, sports cards is nostalgic. I collected cards as a kid. I have my own personal collection of cards, and now I get to like sell them and see a bunch of cool pieces of like memorabilia. So most people would get into this wouldn't understand the cards and stuff because they only care about making the money, and so it's going to be really difficult to like appreciate what you're doing. And when you appreciate it, you can kind of like really expand on it all.
yeah.
But I mean, just choose something that you want to sell that you can know you can find regularly, organically, and then put ads behind it. So the best way to do it is if you want to, I mean, like honestly, one of the best ways to do is just type in buy sell group on Facebook
Yeah.
and see all the different types of groups. So obviously electronics is one, cars is one, houses is one. Pick one of those products.
Yep.
Just pick one of those products because all those people are interested in doing it, which means there's plenty of opportunity on it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, it's wild how many buying and selling opportunities there are out there. I recently saw somebody that buys and resells like uh like working equipment, like
Hmm.
forklifts and stuff like that. And
Huge commercial, yeah,
yeah,
commercial,
like they
huge
buy them,
quantity.
they look like garbage, they clean them up a little bit, and then they just flip them. And it's kind of, I mean, there's markets out there for everything, guys. Like it's crazy. And like if you're interested in like running ads for people, like there's industries out there for that too. That's one thing that I do and I help people do, specifically with electronics, but in other places too, like we did with Hayden here. Helped him kind of start the ads. I mean, he has a very good understanding of ads already. I was just kind of able to kind of
And you just
help a lot.
perfected it all though. So like just because like I know how to set up ads or somebody else might know how to set up ads, like it's the 2 to 3 tweaks. And
Yeah.
it's the like one or two questions that you need to answer to. Like pay for those. Pay for that because that's the difference. Is like I knew how to do this, but I just asked you. I was like, yo, should I do it this way or should I do it this way? And you're like, do it this way because this. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I don't have to go down this dark road, like where and then come all the way back. And so that happened for you like 3 or 4 times where like it just had a crazy effect. It's like, sure, we're getting a 3x now. Now we're getting a 5x. Now we're getting a 10x. Now we're getting a 15x. And he's over here, he's like, you gonna tweak him at all? I'm like, bro, I'm cool now. Like 15x is good.
Yeah.
Like we're good here.
That's why I always ask my students is like, like before they make any adjustments on their ads, it's like, what's your ROAS? Like, what's the return on ad spend? Like, look at it first. That's why tracking is so important. That's why I
Hmm.
tell people that. It's like, I mean, obviously, you know you're winning. Like, so you track everything, so you probably got it in inventory somewhere. But like I tell my guys that all the time because they're always like, should I tweak my ad? Should I change the ad photo? Should I do this? And like, what are you making? Like, is it 4x? Is it 5x? Because if it is, don't change anything. Like,
Yeah,
stop.
what we did too, just like a kind of a tip on here. We duplicated our sets, or excuse me, our entire campaign. So like we did what you said, but honestly, it's some BS is what it is. Not you, Facebook, what it is. So like we were at $50 a day and we were running, and then we went up to $100 a day, and dude, we maybe got like 10% more.
Yep.
And then we went down to $50 a day and we got the same amount. And then I went down to $25 a day and I got the same amount as the 50. And I'm
Yep.
like, bruh. And so what I did is I just duplicated. So now we run like 100. At our peak, we were at $200 a day, and it was freaking insane. It was absolutely insane. Like we couldn't even. You're getting. You are literally getting hit with a message every 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it
That's
is
crazy.
so it's ridiculous. Getting 400 or 500 messages every single day. It's not even honestly, it's crazy. We would love to do it, but what we did is we run 4 campaigns and we have them right now at $20, 15, 15, and 20. That's it. And it delivers huge results, and that's just the way it works.
It is
That's
some
just the way it
BS
works.
about whenever you increase spend. It's like Facebook just takes the money and gives you the same results. It's ridiculous.
It
I found
is.
that out just running ads forever in the iBuy space, and I always tell people just like if you want to spend more, like go up to 10, $15, duplicate the campaign.
That's what
Like, just do
that's
that.
exactly.
And I don't know why Facebook does like it gives you double the results, but if you do it on the exact same campaign that you are already running things on and just double the budget, it gives you the same that you were getting and increases everything. And it's like, I don't know
Yeah.
why or what the algorithm is doing to make that happen because all I can think
And
of,
we're running like national too. We're not just running
yeah,
local. We're running national too. And we found the same exact thing. And we adjusted it. And like now the cheapest I'm getting on a $20 a day is 43 cents per message, which
good
is
Lord, that
insane.
is
And
wild.
then the second is yeah, then it's 71, 75, and then $1.20. Instagram local is a little bit more expensive.
Oh yeah, I mean that makes sense. When we were running the ads for Gaither, they were like, I think it was like $2 to $3 a lead local, which isn't terrible, but
Yeah.
I mean it's just a smaller market. But yeah, I mean for anybody watching, I call like my strategy with Facebook is you have to throttle Facebook, like you have to like give them bits and pieces and crumbs on like increasing ad spend for them to deliver the same amount of leads. I don't know why. It's really, you would think you spend more money, you make more. But with Facebook, that just doesn't seem to be the case. They just seem to just take your money and give you the subpar results in return.
Yeah, just give a little tip too on everything so everybody knows is when we duplicate campaigns on every single one of those, we also exclude anybody who's already messaged us.
Oh, nice.
So
That's smart.
so
Yeah.
just so like we're not getting duplicate because
Yeah.
like we didn't do that before, and then we'd have some person that we said no to click on our other ad because like dude, it's the internet and people see a million things and they don't even remember that they messaged
Yeah.
you before. And so we stopped doing that, and then we just got like fresh ads all the time. And we don't do any retargeting now. We thought we'd do retargeting, but it actually is like doesn't help us because if
Yeah,
we
I can
retarget, you
see
just
how
get
you're
all
hitting
the
the
people
same
we said
people.
no to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so honestly, in this business too, it's like they'll come back to you if they want to sell, and if they don't have anything, dude, it sounds crazy, but if they don't have anything good now, they're not gonna have anything good in the future. I know that sounds bad, but like the people got good stuff now, we'll have good stuff in the future. But everybody else, like I have 30,000 cards, we just say no.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, dude, it's like they're in your freaking garage, they're worth
Yep.
nothing.
Yeah.
Came from the junk era. We just say no. Yeah.
Yeah, you want all the people with the graded cards and everything. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. And so I want to go back to one thing real quick here before we wrap up. It's so you're closing like 1 out of 100, it sounds like, or
At
two
full
out of
scale, but like many chat weeds 75 of those people out. And
Okay.
so we're closing out of the people we actually message, like 1 out of 25 is pretty realistic.
That's not bad.
Sometimes
Yeah.
more, sometimes. Yeah, and that's like from starting from the very beginning of it all. So yeah, uh,
Nice.
yeah,
Okay. Well, I
pretty
mean,
good.
like I want to point that out because, in the phone flipping space, people get upset about closing 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 15. And I'm just like, you guys got to stop complaining here, Like that's
Hey, if you close one, I'd be a
good.
billionaire if I closed 1 out of 10 on that. Like it's crazy, dude. I mean, we get in so many leads, but like to expect that high of a conversion rate, like
Yeah.
no, that's ridiculous. It's a lot of effort for these people too. Like they gotta message you, they gotta meet up with you, or they gotta ship to you, and they gotta do all this stuff too. So you can't expect everybody. Like you gotta realize that 75% of the people you talk to are so lazy they're not going to do anything. And then the difference is those couple other people that you have left, hopefully you can close a deal with on a few of them. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't focus really on like what percent. I mean, percentage at close is fine, but it's more about like what is the revenue generated per close. That's way more important for us. Like we close 75 people and we buy 75 grand. So we buy, and so it's okay if you close one every 25 because really in reality it's like every single deal you do is worth $40 whether you close it or not. It's just like if you message them you make 40 because your average is 1,000.
Yeah.
And
That's
so,
that's kind of the way that I view reach outs on Marketplace now. I call it profit per reach out. It's like
mhm.
whatever you're profiting from the reach outs, just take that and divide it by how many you've actually done. And you'd be surprised. We had a 30-day check-in about 2 weeks ago with somebody. This dude was making $1.20 per message he was sending. And I was like, bro, do more. Like,
Yeah, do
just keep
more.
going. Like,
Do
like
more.
just do more. That's all you got to do. Like once you know
Yeah,
the person,
holy crap.
yeah.
Go.
Well, the
Yeah.
thing is like we got an automated reach out thing now too. It's like
Mhm.
just press the button and do more, you know? Um, so like I don't think a lot of people realize those numbers, and that's because most people don't track anything because they don't care yet, right? They don't
Yeah.
once you figure it, and I think that
Comes experience, man. And that's
it
discipline
does.
too.
Yeah. You got to win first before you start tracking. And I realize that. Um, but like where you're at now, you built inventory based off of tracking and like your numbers almost to the T on everything. Uh,
Oh, yeah. No,
and
all times.
I mean, I can see it with messages that you send me. Everything that you do is calculated based on the data that you have. And
Much, yeah. That's as easy as that. Like that's what you're talking about expanding to on the employees. Let's say like right now, I know for every message that we reply to that we generate $40 in purchasing revenue, which on for us, is worth at about let's say 30% of that. So that means we're making whatever it is, we'll call it $12, 12 bucks for every message. Well, if I can hire an employee and they can message and they can do every message for $2, makes sense. And that's a
yeah,
pretty expensive employee too. That'd be paying them like, you
yeah,
know, 3, 4, 500 bucks a day to do that. And so, but you just do the math on that and see if it makes sense. And that's the difference in scalability and give yourself some extra margin on that. Like I have enough margin. I have on that in order to make it work. So just the things that you learn and experience, and you have to trust the data because your intuition is like it doesn't work.
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
The
It doesn't
wrong
work.
compass
Not
for
in the
sure.
data world. Maybe in the entertainment industry, and you know how to read a crowd and talk to a crowd and how to communicate and understand the psychological aspects of it. But when it comes to data, your brain will make adjustments without you even thinking about it for justifications that you're not even thinking of in the moment. And you will automatically adjust that in your mind and then come out to a different number. And I
Yep.
see this all the time over and over and over. And most people don't want to, even deal with it. So they just live with the ignorance instead. But
Well, I
once you
hate
get,
looking at the spreadsheets. Like I hate it.
yeah,
Like, but
yeah, I'm not even,
but like it stops me from making most decisions that would have been bad.
it
Like,
does.
like
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's,
also have a rule now too. Like on weekends, I don't make decisions. I don't make like high leverage decisions. I've learned that my brain doesn't operate correctly. Whenever I'm on the weekend, my kids are both home. Like I will go look at the data on Monday morning instead, and then make the decision.
yeah, I agree with that. Just for our rule of thumb too, is we don't do anything different until we do double of what we're currently doing.
Hmm.
So, and if we can't do that, then we'll do something different. So, like last month, let's whatever it was, I think 43K. So next month we got to do 86K. And then we can expand on something else if we want to.
That's a
Or we can
rule.
double it again. And so, but yeah, you shouldn't be planning on expanding with if you're not currently growing. Like that's like the people who it's like, oh, I'm gonna expand and do this. It's like, dude, just double what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
why do you have to do something else? Just double what you're doing right now. It's like Starbucks didn't like start a burger chain too. And so it's like just double the same concept over and over again.
I
So
really
we,
like that rule. I'm gonna remember that because don't make any decisions until you've doubled what you've already done. That's
and
a
if you can't double it, like trust me, there's plenty of times where I've failed and it won't double, and I make efforts and it won't double the same. And so, and then you need to make changes and adjustments accordingly for that too. But like, it's not always going to work out in your favor. You're not always going to be able to do something expansion. But I see that all the time where people start something and then they move into something else and move into something
yeah.
else. And I've moved into a lot of things too. But guys, just FYI, I've sold every single one of my companies. So the goal of every business is to sell it, like so like I've made incredible returns on all of my companies. So that's what I would suggest doing. You just move on, do other things that you want to do.
I like that. So just a rule there that I want to highlight really quickly for everybody kind of listening. Most of you guys are phone flippers. Don't change anything unless you have doubled. I like that a lot. Because a lot of you will come to me and you'll be like, how do I double my business? And most of the time, it's just doing most of what you're doing already. It's just more of it. And like if you're doing, 20 reach outs a day, increase it to 40. If you're, getting 10 leads a day, increase it to 20. Like
Oh,
you'll double
totally
your
agree.
business. I mean, another thing, especially with the phone flipping space, is like the easiest way to double your business is just buy more things per customer.
Yeah,
You win.
that's
Like,
right.
like
Well, yeah, guys, just give you an idea if you want the real numbers on it. Currently, right now, based on last month's numbers, we're doing 160. We're bringing in 160 leads per day. So we say double. So now we want to take in 320 leads per day. Now we have a higher average sales price, but really for the phone flipping industry, this should be a pretty good rule of thumb. And this is going to sound crazy, okay, guys, but it's the truth here. If you do 300 messages a day for, let's say, 30 days, so that's 9,000 messages. Don't worry, ManyChat's going to weed out 75% of them. That should generate you at least $1 million a year in revenue. So just there's your rule of thumb right there. That's from our numbers. That's what I've got. 300 messages a day equals $1 million in revenue. Boiled down though, it's a lot easier. It's only like, like your 1,500 messages a month. So
yeah,
after ManyChat weeds it out, you're maybe messaging 75 people a day. Maybe at most, maybe more like 50 on that.
yeah,
And 50 people a day, 1,500 messages a month. That's $1 million a year in revenue. And that should clear also, like 200K in profit, give or take on the direct buy margin. So that's my data. That's what I got. Trying to feed it,
yeah.
give you a realization of what it takes in order to scale to.
I love it. Well, dude, I appreciate you coming on. This has been great. I think this will kind of highlight a lot of the other opportunities that are out there in the flipping market. And see like because people don't realize how many opportunities there are out there where
Yeah.
they can make money and have fun, at the same time. Like, I want to put this out there. Like, I love electronics, and that's why I stick with the industry. Like, that's my thing. I enjoy it. Seeing Hayden over here crush it in the sports cards is very enticing. However, I also remember that I know nothing about sports cards at all. Like, nothing. Um, I don't have that same level of interest in like the storytelling behind the cards. I don't have that interest, so it's not a good thing for me to jump into right now, or
Fair
ever
enough. Yes.
possibly. Like it
Yeah,
just doesn't
perfect.
make sense, um, just because it's not my thing. I love ads, my thing. I love that. I love ads. I love flipping things, specifically with electronics. I love building systems and softwares, and that's kind of my thing. So, find something you love, and I guarantee you'll be able to flip something, and you'll be able to run ads for it too. Like, like I guarantee that too. But dude, Hayden, it's been awesome. We'll have to bring you back in when you cross that $1 million threshold, um, on the revenue side of things, which that'll
Well, we'll
probably be
get
in like
into it
2 weeks,
soon.
huh?
Yeah, yeah. Now give me one. We got to get an office, so that's kind of like our thing right now. We're trying to do, and but yeah, we'll have a lot of expansion over here. I'm really excited for, the first quarter. We really are. Our goal though is to remain profitable month over month. That's the
Yeah,
only thing that matters is like we don't really care about like if I know a lot of people that like hitting $1 million, but they make freaking 50 grand off
oh
it, and
yeah,
that's like
yeah,
not cool. So we have good margins. We want to remain profitable and scale accordingly. And in a couple of years, we could get it really big and make a lot of money off of it if you do it right.
yeah,
So
for sure.
that's the
Cool.
plan. That's the plan.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. We'll have to do this again.
Adios, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep.